Yo, what's up everyone? Junior Torres over here, and I hope you're having a great night. It's Friday, April 27th, and I'm chilling, and I'm working on some Photoshop edits that I'll be posting throughout the week. I'm trying to get my skills up, but thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. If you like it, guys, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Give this video a thumbs up. Comment your thoughts. Let me know what you guys think about this video, and remember to follow me on Instagram at Torres Boxing. That's all boxing there. So if you're a fan of boxing, which you must be because you're watching this video, go ahead and follow me on Instagram, guys. And real quick, I wanted to touch on this news bit that I came across on boxingscene.com, and I'll post a link to the article on the description below. But it relates to Golovkin. And Golovkin is the belt holder, middleweight king, holds the WBC, WBA, IBO, and IBF title. And the article, this situation right now, relates to the IBF title that he holds. As we know, Cinco de Mayo, we were supposed to be getting the Canelo Golovkin 2, the rematch, right? But, you know, that fell apart, and we're not getting that. Instead, we're getting a late replacement by the name of Vanes Mariusin. So that's the fight that we have on May 5th. Lou DiBella, who promotes the IBF #1 contender to Golovkin's title, Lou DiBella was pushing for Derevyanchenko to go ahead and get that title shot on May 5th, which, you know, Team Golovkin came out and said, you know, that a fight of that caliber needs more time for a build-up and more money too, because you're talking about a big fight there. But basically, the IBF said, you know what, okay, fine, we'll let Golovkin get another fight in on May. But now, according to this news article, they're ordering that Golovkin has to defend his belt next against Derevyanchenko, if not risk being stripped of that belt. And the headline reads like this: Golovkin versus Derevyanchenko is ordered by the IBF. Gennady Golovkin may have a problem if he intends to fight Canelo Alvarez in the fall, because the International Boxing Federation, the IBF, has ordered him to make a mandatory defense against Sergiy Derevyanchenko. And that's the mandatory that was, willing to fight Golovkin on May 5th. His promoter was pushing hard for that match, but it didn't come to fruition. But now it looks like the pressure is on Golovkin for him to actually defend next. So if there's any plans for Golovkin to want to wait it out and see if he can get Canelo in the fall, those plans. Golovkin's over here trying to unify the division. As we all know, he's one belt away from being undisputed, and that other title is the WBO title that Billy Joe Saunders holds. And that's another name that was in the mix for the May 5th matchup. But, again, those fights didn't come to fruition. But he's one belt away. And before this whole Canelo ordeal came about, Golovkin's goal has always been to become undisputed. And that's why he's holding on to these belts. Why would someone hold on to these belts if they didn't have plans of being undisputed or found some sort of value and prestige in them? Because you have the Cottos, you have these other fighters that, they're not willing sometimes to pay these sanctioning fees. And these sanctioning fees, from what I know, sometimes can go up to upwards of, $300,000, per belt. So do the math. That's a lot of money to be paying out of your pocket for belts that you've earned and you fought for. I think it's crazy, but I guess that's boxing for you, right? But anyways, Golovkin has always yearned for this high-profile fight, and he was about to get the rematch. He got the first match back in September. Obviously, that ended in a controversial fashion. Getting the rematch in May, it fell apart, but he still wants that big money fight. But this, the IBF ordering this for Golovkin to fight is mandatory now is going to make that tough. What will Golovkin do? And in all honesty, I'm just going to be honest with you guys. When I know that as a fan, it's hard. It's easy for me to say, you know what, Golovkin do this or that. Because I'm a fan. But if we look at it from the perspective of a boxer, such as Golovkin in this case, then there's other things at stake, and he might be looking at things from a different perspective. Golovkin has the potential to make millions and millions of dollars off of a Canelo rematch. So I don't know. Would he be willing to vacate the belt and and maybe kind of take a step back from his dream and goal of unifying the division over a high-profile perhaps a legacy fight against Canelo. I don't know. I don't know if he'd be willing to do that, but that's a lot of money, and I know that, Golovkin's getting paid to do what he does to support his family and his future, right? So, like I said, it's from a different perspective. I don't know what Golovkin thinks, but from a fan standpoint, I would say, Golovkin, I would hope he just forgets about Canelo for now. I think for too long, Golovkin has been dictated by Golden Boy or others and what his next move in his boxing career is. I remember last year that after he had that Danny Jacobs fight, talks were already underway about a possible Canelo fight, their first one. Triple G has always liked to stay active, fighting about 3 to 4 times every year, but ever since this whole Canelo ordeal came up, he's been forced to just fight 2. Why? Last year, after his Danny Jacobs fight, there was already talks of unifying the division with Billy Joe Saunders. But Golden Boy came out and said, no, we don't want you to fight. We don't want to risk a potential fight in September against Canelo. So if you want the fight with Canelo, you can't fight it, in the summer. You can't fight before September. What did Golovkin do? He went ahead and adhered to what they wanted, and he didn't fight. And, the fight did happen in September. But now we're back to the same thing. Will Golovkin wait it out? Will Golovkin let this whole Canelo thing play out for him to actually make a decision? Or will he just go ahead and say, you know what, I'm going to do what I have to do, and if the Canelo fight comes around, then so be it, but I'm not going to let them dictate my career. I'm not going to let them hold me back from staying busy, from unifying the division, from getting his resume up and just staying active. I think that he should stay active. If Canelo wants to come back and fight in September, I don't know. I just that's obviously those are unanswered questions right now. We don't know. Will Canelo come back? Will he be willing to take the rematch in September? Or will he want a tune-up fight after not fighting for 6 months? Or around this time it's going to be already about a year since he last fought against Golovkin. Will he want a tune-up? Will he even want to fight Golovkin? We don't know, but that's why I think that Golovkin shouldn't wait. I think Golovkin should just stay busy. He gets past Vanis, then go ahead and maybe, defend against Sergiy, if that's really the case, if they really want him to do that. And then maybe look to unify against Saunders, then become undisputed. And, I think that would be great for his legacy. But for him to just be slowed down from fighting 3 to 4 times a year, then to just fighting 2 times a year just because he's waiting on Canelo, I don't think it's cool. But like I said, that's from a fan's perspective. From me personally, Golovkin might be looking at it differently, and he'd be justified in his views, because he's obviously got to look out for himself, his financial well-being, and his family's future as well. So I don't blame him. But just me from seeing this, being a big Golovkin fan too, I would hope he just goes ahead and stays busy. Don't make it look like, you're just waiting. Like, your next move depends on what Canelo and his team want. Just go ahead and do your thing. And that those high-profile fights will come. I think they really will. But I think that he needs to stay busy. I think he needs to stay busy because he's 36 years old. And at this point in his, older boxers, he might be a young 36, but older boxers in general, age is going to catch up to anyone, right? I think older boxers there's more of an urgency for them to stay busy. Maybe as a younger boxer, let's say he was 26, then maybe he can afford to have a year or 2 as a layoff. But 36 and having a year as a layoff, or only having 1 or 2 fights every year, it's gonna really, cut back on his skills and abilities. So I hope he stays busy. And like I said, I'm hoping that he can unify the division. And if a Canelo rematch is in the cards, then then I look forward to that fight as well. So that's it. Those are just my 2 cents on the whole situation, guys. Let me know what you guys think. I try to be unbiased. I think we all have our favorites and who we like and who we don't really like. Not as people, obviously. I don't think any one of us have personal things against people. I think it's just a sport. It's competition. I think we all respect these fighters, but those are my 2 cents. Like I said, I am a Golovkin fan. Canelo's cool. He's a great fighter. I also think he's doing his thing, and we'll see where it goes, right? But let me know what you guys think on the comment section. Comment below. express your thoughts. Try to keep it clean and fair, guys. But that's about it, guys. And subscribe to the channel. Check out TorresBoxing.com. Hopefully I'll get a blog post of my own talking about the situation. Follow on Instagram, Torres Boxing, and just stay tuned for more, guys. Let me know what type of videos you guys want me to do. What type of content do you want me to cover? And thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a great rest of your weekend.